Last night was a massive victory for Bernie Moreno in the Ohio Senate primary. What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back again with a new video, and today it is time to talk about the 2024 Ohio Senate race because everyone, last night was the Senate primary for the Republican side, and boy oh boy was it an absolute beatdown by Bernie Moreno. The Trump-endorsed candidate won not by just a couple points. He didn't win by 5 to 6. No, not even by 10 points. He won by almost 20 points. He won every single county in the Ohio primary. That's right. The supposedly electable Matt Dolan got absolutely crushed, even in his own county. Now, before we continue with today's video, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Again, folks, all support is greatly appreciated, and yeah. Now, before we even talk about the Senate primary, I do want to touch upon the presidential race that also occurred last night, because there were some fascinating results in this race. Now, to be clear, Donald Trump winning by 60 plus points is not a surprise. And before people say, well, 14% of Republicans still voted for Nikki Haley, that's a sign that, Trump is in trouble. Once again, this primary in Ohio, guess what? It's an open contest. That means Democrats can vote. And not only that, but in Ohio, early voting was open before she even dropped out. So she got some votes before she even was out of the race. So this 14% is an inflated margin. Her election day result was it was pathetic. It was 5%. But either way, her number was once again inflated. But this isn't what I'm interested about because Trump won with almost 80% of the vote, got all the delegates, whatever. I want to look at the Democrats' side and just look at the turnout. Right off the bat, you notice something extremely apparent, that Democrats had a massive turnout problem in Ohio. I mean, only 524,000 votes, that's it? When Donald Trump himself combined for 889,000 votes. You could give them every single non-Trump vote on the Republican side to the Democrats, and Trump still would have gotten more votes than the Democratic side combined. I mean, there are zero positives with this turnout, but if that wasn't bad enough for Biden, look at the percent of the vote Dean Phillips got, 13%. Now, for those that don't know, on the Democratic side, if you get 15% of the vote, you qualify for delegates. So Dean Phillips on paper didn't get a single delegate. But the Democrats also split their delegates by congressional district. That means if, say, Dean Phillips got 15% in Ohio 1st, for example, he would get some delegates out of that district. Well, guess what happened last night? Dean Phillips is going to qualify for delegates in Eastern Ohio. I mean, look at some of these results that he got. Monroe County cracked 30%. Noble, 30. Vinton, 31. Harrison, 31. You can just keep going. Jefferson, 23. Belmont, 25. Washington, 17. Hell, Athens! This is where Ohio University is. And look at that. Phillips got 15% there. But not only that. Look at northeastern Ohio. Mahoning County, 16%. Trumbull, 21. Ashtabula, 17. These are ancestral Democrats voting for Dean Phillips. These are the last bit of blue-collar Democrats left in the Ohio Democratic Party. And they're voting against Biden. It is so bad that Dean Phillips will get some delegates out of the state. It might not be that much, but it could still be 5 or 6. That's the problem with Biden's result last night. Eastern Ohio hates Biden. I mean, he did awful. Whether it's Appalachia, whether it's Northeastern Ohio, doesn't matter. He had a pathetic showing. It's so bad that Dean Phillips, despite dropping out 3 weeks ago, is gonna qualify for delegates. Sure, they're not gonna be bind to him because he dropped out, but this ain't that good of a sign for not only Joe Biden, but Sherrod Brown. I mean, the fact that Biden's having this big of a problem with these voters, and in my opinion, for someone like Brown to win Ohio, this is the part of the state he needs to run up. And if Biden's doing this pathetic in the primary with these voters, do you think they're going to vote for Biden in the general? Hell no. A lot of them are probably going to vote for Trump. So either way, the turnout was absolutely pathetic on the Democratic side. The Senate race, it was the same. You know, it doesn't matter. This turnout is a big fat red flag for Ohio Democrats. But all right, the presidential race, you know, it's whatever. Dean Phillips probably gets delegates. I'm surprised he did this good. But the Ohio Senate race, this was the biggest surprise of last night. Sure, Dean Phillips getting delegates was funny, but no one, and I mean not a single person, thought Bernie Moreno was going to win, not just by a little bit, but by almost 20 points. Not just that, he won every single county. Think about that. Bernie Moreno, the supposedly unelectable candidate, got over half of the vote, won every single county, not just by a little bit. I mean, look at some of these areas. Look at Cuyahoga. Bernie Moreno won against Matt Dolan by almost 10 points. Franklin, where Columbus is, he won by 11. Delaware, he won by 13. Hamilton, by 8. Butler, 23. It just keeps going. You notice that Bernie Moreno didn't have that big of a difference from his more friendly parts of the state than the supposedly weaker parts? I mean, Matt Dolan is supposedly the electable candidate, but he did awful in the suburbs. I mean, Bernie Moreno ran it up in the Cincinnati suburbs, ran it up in Delaware, ran it up in Summit, Lorain, etc. But the one part of the state that Moreno did the best in wasn't the Cincinnati suburbs, wasn't the Columbus area, not even Cleveland. You know how I was saying earlier that, in my opinion, Northeastern Ohio and even Eastern Ohio as a whole is where Sherrod Brown has to win by a lot to pull it off? Take a guess where Bernie Moreno did the best in. Mahoning County, Trumbull, Columbian, Stark, etc. This part of the state right here, he ran it up in. He got 61%, 61, 56, let's see here, 54, etc. This part of the state in particular is where the election will be won or lost in November. And Bernie Moreno ran it up. And just to give you perspective of why I'm saying this, look at 2018, or actually 2020. Look at Northeastern Ohio, all right? It's light red. Back in 2020, Trump won this area by, a good amount, but still, 2 points here, 10 points there, 12 here, 18, etc. Look at 2018. You can pinpoint where Brown did the best in compared to Biden. Northeastern Ohio. Look at Mahoning County. He won it by 21 points, a 22-point shift from 2020. Trumbull, he won by 15. Guess what? A 25-point shift. Ashtabula, he won it by what? 3 points? That's a 26-point shift. This is how Brown wins every single time. Not through frickin' the Cincinnati suburbs. I mean, this theory that the suburbs will decide this race, bullshit. Just look at Butler County. Renacci won it by 18. Trump won it by 24. I mean, yeah, Brown did slightly better, but not as good as, say, Northeastern Ohio. But a good example is also Monroe County. So Renacci won by, just under 5 points, which is pathetic because back in 2020, Donald Trump won this county by 54 points. Now do you see how Brown wins? He doesn't win through running it up in the suburbs of Columbus or in Cincinnati. No. He wins by running it up in Northeastern Ohio. That's how he wins. And also places like Erie County. Places like Ottawa. Just look at Erie. Brown won by 10 points here. Trump won it by 11. And take a guess. Erie County was very pro-Moreno. This is why I'm trying to tell people, I think Bernie Moreno is a favorite. Because the parts of the state that he's doing the best in the primary, not only did he win every part of the state, he won the suburbs, the urban parts, the rurals, every part. Ignoring that for a second, his best counties came in the counties that Brown needs to do way better in to win. So you combine all of this, this was not a good night for Democrats in Ohio. I mean, it is becoming a more Republican state, obviously, but the turnout was bad. Bernie Moreno got more votes than Brown did. Hell, he did best in the parts of the state Sherrod Brown needs to do best in, compared to Biden. So either way, it was a good night for Bernie Moreno. I am shocked that he did this good. I mean, the polling barely had him at at best 44%, and that was Emerson College. They only had him winning by 4. He won by almost 20. So it really makes you wonder, these polls that have him down by, 6, 7 points, they're the same polls that had him barely winning, if not flat out losing against Matt Dole in the primary. Either way, we got to see what happens, this fall. But I think Bernie Moreno is in a good situation. It's apparent that the party likes him. He got about 50% of the vote, and he did good in every part of the state. So I think he has a fairly unified party behind him. It was a nasty primary, but him getting above 50% shows you that he has strength within the GOP of Ohio and doing very good across the state. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy this video, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Thank you so much, Godspeed, to all of you.